नमस्कार आणि परतून तुमकां एकदा येवकार. तुमच्या बोटार तुमचो फुडार हे आमचे खाशेले कार्यावळींत गोंया विधानसभेची 2022च्या इलेक्शनाचेर आमचे मदीं हांगा पॅनलाक बसल्यात, डिस्कशनाक बसल्यात बाब आवेर्तीन मिरांडा आनी बाब सुहास नायक. ब्रेकाक वचचे पयलीं आमी उलयल्ले गोंयच्या ओवरऑल उदरगतीचेर, मायग्रंट्स आनी लोकल्स हांचे मदीं जी वोटिंगाची तफावत जाल्या, समीकरणां बदल्या ताचेर. गोंयचो एक उद्देगीक मुखेल कोणो जाका म्हणटाले तो आशिल्लो आनी तो आसा टुरिजम. टुरिजमाक लागूनय बी खुबशे पॉप्युलेशन जॉबाक लागून हांगा आयिल्ले आसात. हांगच्या थळाव्या लोकांकूय टुरिजमाचो लाव जाला असो सरकार दावो करतात आनी सरकार म्हणटा ताका लागून आमी एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेट केला. आतां इलेक्शनां घेतना आनी इलेक्शनां जेन्ना आमी विचार करतात तेन्ना वेचून आयिल्ले फुडारी हे इंडस्ट्री बद्दल कसो विचार करतात. कारण खूब फावट आरोप जाता की सर जी इंडस्ट्री जाल्ल्या ती अनप्लॅन्ड आनी कोणाक पडिल्लें ना, कोण जाय तें करता आनी कोणाचो कंट्रोल कोणाच्या भितर ना, अशी एक परिस्थिती हांगा निर्माण जाल्या. गोंयच्या फुडारा खातीर हें कितलें मारक. आवेर्तीन बाब तुमकां हाजेर बरो अभ्यास आसा, तुमी सांगात हो इशू कसो इम्पॉर्टंट आसा ह्या इलेक्शनाच्या नदरेंतल्यान.
Goa tourism has become a massive industry. We become so dependent on tourism. May not be a large part of the population of Goa depend on tourism, but a lot of our major part of the Goan economy is tourism, mining, very small extent agriculture, which should have been more contributing to the economy. But right now, tourism is contributing a large chunk to the economy, the GDP of Goa, and also contributing to the exchequer. But the problem is what? Lack of planning. Absolutely no planning. The government has no vision, no future planning. As a result, there's so much of, as you said, haphazard development of tourism. And the government has tried to put all the eggs in one basket. That is the most dangerous thing what has happened. And we know the consequences of what happened during the pandemic. As a result, the entire tourism economy came to a standstill. People lost their businesses. People have lost their jobs. And the other dependent industries which were suppliers, they also lost their businesses who are dependent on tourism. Like taxis were dependent on tourism. There may be small suppliers who are giving services, laundry services and other peripheral services. So we have to decide how much can we depend on tourism. How can we plan it properly so that we can sustain this tourism. Goa cannot take, at one time 2-3 lakh people come to Goa for a holiday. Goa can't just handle it.
Infrastructure pressure.
There is pressure on infrastructure. Locals are not getting enough water. All the water is diverted to 5-star hotels. Locals are not getting proper electricity power. Power cuts are there. If you see in the Bardesh belt, the locals are suffering tremendously with power cuts because power is diverted to see that hotels get enough power to run the air conditioners or pumping of water or supplying water. We don't have drinking water in Goa, but you'll find water going to the swimming pools of these 5-star hotels. So the benefit of tourism, if you see, a person comes from Delhi, puts up a 5-star hotel, he gets laborers from out of the Goa, builds up the hotel. He hires most of the people, 90% of the people who are working in the hotel, if you see, they are all coming from outside Goa. The entire profit of the businesses are siphoned out of Goa. What are we getting? We get nothing.
Yeah. No, तोच इम्पॉर्टंट पॉयंट. सुहास तूं हाजेरूच उदळ एक इम्पॉर्टंट म्हणल्यार कनेक्टेड टू दीस आनी लॉज आमचे कशे आसात आनी कितें करपाचें हाजेर बद्दल तूं कितें सांगतालो म्हाका एक इम्पॉर्टंट पॉयंट हाजेर तूं कितें म्हणटा हाचेर.
Tourism industry, we cannot control, restrict the entry of the tourists coming to Goa. We should welcome tourists कित्याक that will support many ancillary industries like taxi आसा, hotels आसा, shacks आसा, guest houses आसा आनी ताचेर coastal beltaचे livelihood is dependent on tourism industry. So जसो टुरिस्ट इन्फ्लो येता तितलो गोंयांक तेजो फायदो आसा कित्याक ते परमनंट रावपाक हांगा येना. ते 1-2 दीस येता वा 4 दीस येता आनी दे गो बॅक. नाव एज अ government or the policy maker, it is the duty of the government to regulate this industry, control this industry. आणि कंट्रोल करता आसतना जे हांवें वदळ पयलीं म्हणिल्लें की बाबा वेस्ट मॅनेजमेंट कशें तुमी मॅनेज करतले, गार्बेज तुमी कशी मॅनेज करतले, कित्याक ह्या कोस्टल बँडान लिटरींग खूब जाता. बिचार जर गेलें जाल्यार प्लास्टीकच्यो पोतयो तुका सगळे कडेन पडिल्ल्यो दिसता. सो हें जावपाक जायना. देर हॅज टू बी अ डिसिप्लीन, देर हॅज टू बी सम टास्क फोर्स to ensure that bottles, empty bottles, beer bottles are not thrown on the beach. कांय ट्युरिस्ट फोडटा बाटल्यांनी रेवेर उडयता. खुबशे फावटींचे लोक उदकान न्हांवपाक देंवता तांच्या पांयांक बियांक त्यो बाटल्यो दोपता. कांय जाग्यांनी गार्बेज अशीच पडिल्ली आसता. सो ऑल दीस थींग हॅज टू बी मॅनेज्ड आनी तें मॅनेज करता आसतना लोकलांक त्रास जावपाक जायना, गोंयकारांक ताजो त्रास जावपाक जायना. उलट ह्या इंडस्ट्रीचो फायदो गोंयाक कसो जातलो हें सरकारान पळोवपाक जाय. ऑर द रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्ह शूड लूक इन टू दॅट.
काय आमकां लेजिस्लेशन किंवा एनीथींग इज नीडेड टू.
What we need is we have enough laws, and if you see the fallout of tourism is also the drugs mafia. The drug mafia plays a massive role on the coastal belt, where there is a nexus between the politicians and the police. Then you have prostitution. You have human trafficking happening, because young girls are brought from out of Goa and they are being trafficked here. So these issues are not being tackled. This issue is a major issue on the coastal belt. There is a massive prostitution and drug mafia operating. No action has been taken against them. You will find rarely somebody being caught who is not part of this nexus between the politician and the police. So these are newcomer comes, he gets caught. But the established guys, this is such an organized network where everybody is involved.
And everybody knows की बाबा अमक्या बेल्टान आतां तुमी कोस्टल बेल्टाची एक कॉन्स्टिट्युएन्सी घेतली समज अमकी,
बरोबर,
त्या कॉन्स्टिट्युएन्सीन ड्रग कोण तेज्या फाटल्यान आसा, थंयसर पुलिसांक एवरीथींग दे नो, बट दे आर नॉट टेकिंग एनी एक्शन.
So, but inaction again it is with the connivance of the general public society. कित्याक सोसायटीक हाजें कांय पडिल्लें ना. आनी द सोसायटी जो पर्यंत जागरूक जायना तो पर्यंत हातूंत कसलोच बदल येवप शक्य ना. कित्याक तुमच्या सारके एक्टिविस्ट जे रस्त्यार वावुरतात, लोकां मदीं वावुरतात, यू गो एंड ट्राय एंड एक्सप्लेन टू पीपल लोकांनी कितें करचें, लोकांनी कितें, बट हाचो इम्पॅक्ट कितलो असो आसा सद्या. वॉट इज द इम्पॅक्ट तुमी इतलो वावर करता ताजो लोकांच्या मनाचेर, आनी ताजो इम्पॅक्ट वोटिंगाचेर कितें जातलो.
लोकांक कितें आसा, लोकांक आतां पॅन्डेमिकाच्या हेज्या खातीर लोकांनी आपल्या बायलांच्यो वस्तू विकून दीस काडलेले आसा. आनी स्पेशली द ट्युरिस्ट बेल्टान, कित्याक तांची टॅक्सी चल्ली जाल्यार तेज्या घरान जेवण जातालें,
बरोबर,
चूल पेट्टाली. पूण जेन्ना तुजी टॅक्सी चलना, तुजो धंदो चलना जाल्यार तुज्या घरान तुजी चूल पेटना. सो दीस इज वन ऑफ द मेजर फॅक्टर. आनी लोकांनी आपली भांगरां विकल्या, कोणी बायलेचें विकून आनी गोल्ड लोन काडून अशें आपूण चलयता. आनी जेन्ना हे ज्वलंत प्रश्न लायव्हलीहूड सर्वायवलाचे आसा एका फॅमिलीक, तेन्ना हे बाकीच्यो ज्यो गजाली आसा, ड्रग्स म्हण जावं प्रॉस्टिट्युशन म्हण जावं आनी कितें म्हण, एनवायरनमेंट म्हण, दीस बिकम्स अ सेकंडरी इशू फॉर अ फॅमिली, एन एवरेज फॅमिली. सो इट इज द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ द some NGOs, organizations, any politicians, the police, to control this industry, including the media, because media is sometimes also takes a biased approach when it comes to a particular constituency.
But the failure of the law enforcement agencies,
yes,
we have the law, they are highly paid, the police and other officials. The failure of them, not only failure, the nexus between the police and the drug mafia
and politicians
is very
also
rampant, and the politicians, because without this protection, what can the public do? If there is a person in a village points out that drugs are happening in so and so place, police will never act. That is a problem, because our entire moral fabric of Goa is getting destroyed because of this drugs, politicians and gambling, casinos. As you see, every corner of Goa, Matka is going on openly. Because they are paid, politicians are being paid. In fact, politicians are running this Matka business.
आताचे politicians जे आसा, they थोडे जे आसा, they were the Matka bookies. And you know the names.
So what is happening is that many of our people, Goans, are getting dependent on these immoral activities. You understood, no?
Yeah, but
this immoral, if you going to sustain people on Matka, prostitution, drugs, if they become dependent on this kind of trades, is complete collapse of the law and order. We don't have law and order in Goa. Each one does whatever you do. So if somebody points out that so and so fellow is doing illegal matka, or so and so fellow doing illegal prostitution business, or somebody is doing drug trafficking, how many people will come out open and risk their lives? You tell me. You are saying people must come forward, people are not doing it this. If the government we elect are not able to stop these illegal activities.
No, but again, आम्ही उदळ म्हणलं त्याचे की पीपल हू आर आतां पळय इलेक्शनां रावता सुद्दां इट इज डिफिकल्ट टू फॉर गव्हर्मेंट टू कंट्रोल. कित्याक गव्हर्मेंटांचे मनीस असतात ते सगळ्यांनी अल्टिमेटली गव्हर्मेंट म्हणजे कोण? गव्हर्मेंट मिन्स पीपल हू आर इलेक्टेड, जे वेचून आयिल्ले आसात. दे मेक लेजिस्लेशन, ते थारायतात कायदे आसचे खंयचे, कसले रुल्स आनी रेग्युलेशन्स आसते, समाजा मुखार कसले आदर्श घालचे हेय बी तेच थारायतात. सो वेन द सिट्युएशन इज लायक दीस वी आर इन अ लायक catch-22 कायंड ऑफ सिट्युएशन म्हाका हांगा दिसता.
वॉट आय फील
आणि ह्या पॉलिटिशियनांक आतां इलेक्टेड रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्स आसा तांकां टिकेट्स कोण दिता? द पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज गिव देम द टिकेट्स. नाव देर आर XYZ person who he rose up to such a level in the politics that he became XYZ and 4-time MLA, 2-time MLA. These are the
see, when you have
matka bookies.
When you have huge earnings by illegal means, by illicit means. You see the wealth of the politicians in Goa rising. Not only double, 3-4 times.
100 times rise झाला मी
So,
पहिला.
and this rise in wealth is not even based on the market prices of the properties they own. They're showing the properties as per the price they purchased, which is also underestimated.
Correct.
Because a lot of black money dealing is going on. As per Supreme Court order, the politicians are supposed to declare the market value of the price of the properties they own.
Yeah.
They don't show. Okay, they defy. The question is, when you file your income tax, you are showing 3-4 lakhs income. And when you are filing affidavit for election after 5 years, you are showing suddenly from 50 crores your assets have gone up to 100 crores. How is it possible? I mean, people must understand, no, that this money has come to illicit means, corrupt means, and people must take a call on that. That this guy has made so much of money to illegal means that no honest person in Goa can contest against this person because he's got money power. There is no level playing field.
That is true.
So if there is no level playing field, you tell me how will any honest person in Goa will come forward and contest elections? Even if he comes and contests elections against these big corrupt guys, he is going to lose his deposit. You see, most of these guys, most of the time parties have cropped up in Goa, regional parties or whatever parties. They have no future. Because of this reason, they don't understand the root of the problem. What elections influence is heavily influenced by money power.
Yes.
You don't have money power, you are nowhere.
आमी हांगची चर्चा चलयताले जनरली इलेक्शनाचो पॅटर्न कसो आसा, लोकांक कितें इश्यूज अपेक्षीत आसा आनी खंयचे इश्यूचेर लोक विचार करून मतदान दितले. आमच्या वांगडा आशिल्ले हांगा बाब आवर्तीन मिरांडा आनी बाब सुहास नायक. ही भासाभास आमची बरीच रंगली. तांणी खुबशे मुद्दे मांडले ते म्हळ्यार लोक सगळ्यांत पयलीं क्लीन आसप इम्पॉर्टंट. लोकांक जाय तशेंच सरकार आमकां मेळटा, लोक आपल्याक जाय तशें सरकार वेचून दितात. ताका लागून लोकां भितरली मॉरॅलिटी, लोकां भितरली नितिमत्ता ही जागरूक आसप सगळ्यांत इम्पॉर्टंट. दोगांयचें जवळ जवळ एकमत जालें तें म्हळ्यार लोक जो पर्यंत जागृत जायना तो मेरेन हे प्रश्न तशेंच उरतले. पॉलिटिशियन्स आमकां फटयत रावतले, आपल्याक जाय तशे कायदे करतले आनी लोकांची एटिट्यूड म्हणजे आपले पुरतें सोडप, आपले पुरतें चिंतप आनी दुसऱ्याचें सोडप ही एटिट्यूड आमकां सोडची पडटली. आमकां खंय तरी गोंयचो व्यापक विचार करचो पडटलो. तेन्नाच आमी हांगा एक बरें सरकार, आमी बरे उमेदवार आनी बरे आमदार विधानसभेत धाडटले जे गोंयचें कल्याण करतले, जे गोंयचें बरें करतले. सुहास बाब आनी आवर्तीन बाब, तुमकां दोगांकूय दिनवास. तुमी हांगा आयले, आमचे कडेन बरी भासाभास केली. बरेचशे कांय मुद्दे जे मिसींग आशिल्ले ते तुमी मांडले, ताका लागून तुमकां दिनवास. तुमी खंय चिंतू नाकात, पळयत रावात. तुमच्या बोटार तुमचो फुडार, गोंयचो फुडार ही आमची कार्यावळ आमी दिसभर चालू दवरतले. दिसभर आमी तुमचे मुखार घेवन येतले विंगड गेस्ट, विंगड तज्ञ जे उलयतले गोंयच्या आयच्या राजकारणाचेर, गोंयच्या आयचे ज्यो जातात वेंचणुको त्या वेंचणुकाचेर. आनी त्या भायर आमी तुमकां गोंयभर भोंवडी करून दाखयतले मतदान खंय खंय कशें जातात, कोण कोण मतदान करतात आनी मतदारांचो ओवरऑल मूड कसो आसा. पूण सद्या आमी हांगा एक घेवया ब्रेक आनी वचुया मांडवी न्हंयच्या सुंदर देगेर आनी तुमच्या मुखार आमी हाडटले थंय जाल्ली एक वेगळी भासाभास आयच्या मतदानाचेर आनी आयच्या मतदानाच्या इश्यूचेर एका वेगळ्या पॅनला वांगडा. तुमी खंयच वचूं नाकात, पळयत रावात गोमंतक टीव्ही. आयच्या दिसा तरी तुमच्या बोटार गोंयचो फुडार ही कार्यावळ.